Alright, so hop on into Forge and we'll be starting right on because two pieces of information. One, I have to wake up not super early, but pretty early tomorrow, so there will be like a hard stop time 2 hours from now.
Alright.
Like give or
Reasonable.
take like 5 minutes. And two, definitely expect that I might be messing up words or forgetting rules, so feel free to interject if I'm messing something up.
No problem.
I'm feeling slightly better, but well, I'm still like feeling the last night's drinking. No, and by the way, Derpy weren't there, but you can say that Pastor got a killing blow on Behir.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, neat.
Actually, wait, I probably should start from the beginning. So, like, long story short, there was an attack, or rather, there was like a weird rampage of underground monstrosities called Crude Hicks, and you have focused on one of the main entrances of the mines. With your assistance, the local forces repelled the ferocious beasts, not with some casualties. There were some casualties also from Behir, large, oily, dragon snake-like creature, but with clever uses of your powers and abilities, you have negated one of its main strengths and well down on it until it ceased to live. And yeah, I do believe that Pastor's guiding bolt is one of the things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Also, I wasn't sure there what spells you had prepared because last time we still were using the previous version of the character sheet and I
Right.
didn't really see it. So, just in case it becomes necessary, just make sure that you for the upcoming scene, which will be delving into the mines itself, as the guards pleaded to you to go in and essentially conduct one search and rescue mission, and two, maybe find out from where these creatures came from, in case there are more. So maybe stop further task at its core.
Mm.
So that's what you'll basically be doing. And yeah, you had enough time to do a short rest. But before we jump straight into the scene of you going into the mines, just in case, I'm gonna ask if anyone wants to have a social scene of sorts. Do you want to mention something to one another, talk with one another, or can we go jump in into the mines?
I'm okay with a straight jump in.
Okay, I think I'm hearing other.
I said okay.
I was muted.
I'm good to go right on ahead.
Alright. And so be it. Oh, right, and basically, if you're wondering, some spells were used there, so shouldn't be confused that you have some eaten spell slots.
Okay.
Alright. As you venture into the mines, mind you, when that short rest was happening, the sounds of combat from nearby areas, as I've mentioned that this map presents basically a portion of the mines. I couldn't find anything better. It seemed to be dying down, and local forces, the guards from the City of Hope, having advantage and beating back the attackers, and no further waves came forth. But does that merely mean there are no more crude hicks, or that they found different target? It's hard to say. So, aiming to discover that mystery, you venture forth into the underground mines.
Yay. Hooray. Ooh.
I thought it would be easier, but you will not believe how much time I spent trying to find like a basically good art of like fantasy mine, like mining shaft. I don't know if I wasn't
I
using
feel
good
that.
search words, but like I couldn't find anything like good and proper. And as you begin to venture forth into the mines using your abilities to scout out the area and conduct a recon, two things of note occur to you pretty quickly. One, there isn't really there are non-crude kick stragglers. It seems to you that those beasts, those underground creatures that attacked the surface, they poured it all. So there are no stragglers, no like left behind bands. It seems like whatever caused the attack in the first place, it caused the entire horde to rise up and charge straight towards the surface. However, that ties into the second thing of note. While these mines are used to mine the sun crystals, so obviously there's a lot of radiance and a lot of ambient light, to a degree that in some areas even Pastor can feel the pleasant hum of power coursing through his veins, almost like he's soaking the ambient light. Uh, Mostly for flavor reasons, no mechanical benefits at this time. Um, so at first you think that, well, at the very least you don't have to worry about, the creatures of darkness suddenly popping in. But that hope is quickly dashed, because while there are sections where there is plenty of sun crystals and they provide that by themselves, they offer plenty of protection and prevent the spawning of the shadows. There are sections where, when the monsters rampaged, they have caused havoc. They destroyed a lot of equipment, torches, lanterns, braziers, and whatnot included. And as you'll be going through the mines, you will be finding situations where some straggler mines that try to find a place to hide and weather the storm will become assailed by the shadows bearing down on their hiding spot and whatnot. So, um, essentially, this is something similar to what we have tried during the first or second session of this campaign. Um, Namely, we are now at the skill challenge, where I say skill, but essentially in this section, as you are going through the mines, you can have a choice. You can make a ability check, skill check, or attack roll against a set DC, and that will determine and show how you will um, how you will how well you will tackle the objective of saving the miners. Yeah, mostly the workers here, the miners, and probably maybe even secure the remaining equipment.
It's of our choice, right?
Sorry, what was that? I need to like boost voice up a little bit more. Okay.
It's like a skill or something of our choice.
Yes, it can be a skill, it can be ability check, not saving throw, just ability check, or
Mhm.
even attack roll.
I
if-
think. Sorry.
Oh, you go first.
I think I might go investigation for now.
I'm gonna probably go athletics to try and like clear rubble out of the way.
Okay.
I think Passer will go medicine for like directly helping those we find.
I'll make sure that we figured out the best way to carry everyone, and like not overburden ourselves, if that makes sense. I did not mean to. Okay, that works anyways.
I'll do athletics to help assist Bale. For Silas goes.
Well,
No. Whamp.
I almost saw not 20 on that roll.
It'll be like- Well, at least we both rolled bad.
So Sasa is basically using her smaller life form to basically found crevasses, nooks, and crannies, like squeeze in and
Oh.
basically find various tracks, or basically find.
Yeah, via searching
Pleasure.
drone.
Yes. Oh, exactly. That's a good word.
Yeah.
And showing the way to the rest of the party.
Also, I just realized I rolled with disadvantage rather than advantage. It should have been a 17.
Alright, so 17, that will also count as another success. So, Vale, while you did definitely felt similar, not pain, but that feeling of your muscles going through prolonged strain, strenuous activity. It burns a little bit, especially after an hour or so of like going through, because these mines are large. This is a large mining complex, large underground maze, I should say. However, you prevail, you persevere, and without complaint, you tear your way through various rubble, debris, and expertly, you're like a rescue digging machine.
I'm like a rescue dog looking through rubble.
Yeah, that works too, and because of that, either tying that into Buster's roll. I mean, Silas assists. He does also go through debris, although perhaps he's not as used to that kind of activity. And, no matter the result, having two pair of hands is always better than one. Even if, by the way of the die, by just a little bit. And with you basically feeling that ticking clock against various for the survivors, you are able to reach them, pretty them quickly, as Pastor's medicine check is also a success. Those that even were quite badly injured, either by the cave-in or by the rampaging beasts that basically did a drive-by, you are able to offer professional first aid and ensure that no further casualties will be incurred from this incident. And in fact, with those successes, you are able to act quickly enough that no stronger shadow creatures managed to spawn in. There were some that freshly manifested, and even they seemed pretty weak compared to what we have faced with before. That ambient light source of the mines probably having an effect either way. And with your current level of skill, weaponry that you have, whatever undead incorporeal shadowy creatures manage to spawn in by the time you arrive, they offer absolutely no trouble to you at all.
Mm.
Of course, as you venture deeper in, essentially above the board, you definitely manage to rescue and reach help those who could have been helped in the first place. Obviously, when you're reaching the place where you can easily deduce that the attack not originated, but the initial strike, the first signs of destruction, where they appear. Obviously, if there was someone that was cut in the middle there, you basically just arrive at the sign of already partially decaying and torn apart bodies. And while this is a gruesome sight, it is not the first one in your careers and lives, and you can say with full certainty that you did everything you could, and for these poor folks, there was literally no way you could have helped them, save from, finding a way to turn back time and preventing the attack from happening in the first place.
Is there anything else that we can find in this specific cave? Like the place
Should you-
where the creatures might have come from?
Should you wish to, now that you have confirmed that the search and rescue part is done and over with, you can certainly turn your attention into attempting to investigate and potentially find tracks that maybe they will be able to lead you where they came from. What skills do you wish to use? And then you can make a skill check.
I'm gonna
I'm
perception sniff it out.
Sniff.
I'm a
I'm
sniff.
investigating again.
Okay, that one worked. Advantage. Good.
Though I do believe that for tracks, it's survival specifically.
Survival.
Although I might
Oh, we're
be
doing
mistaken.
trails. I was gonna snoof. That also works. Not as good.
I mean, then again, to be fair, the smell. No, actually. Okay, so surprisingly, it proves to be quite tough to find actual tracks. One could think that when a rampaging group of monsters goes through the place, they would leave plenty of those, and sure, there are tracks. They don't seem to be leading anywhere concrete. It's like all ties and blends together. However, that leads you to focus on more, not tracks themselves, but perhaps pinpointing a location of the breach, perhaps, because as you begin to investigate, you do not find any hints that there was a nest here. You perhaps started thinking that maybe the miners were unlucky and they, found a natural cave that was a lair to the this, not clan, that's what would be the word, this group, this brood of Kruthiks. But knowing what you know and suspecting that perhaps there's something more at play here, there might have been a foul play, you start looking for a breach site, thinking that, well, if it didn't come from the mine itself, then perhaps it came from somewhere else and it breached into the mine. And with those... Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say, is there any? No, never mind. I guess Sasa wouldn't know about these creatures at all. Never mind.
You mean the Kruthiks?
Yeah, like she knew how they act, but this is more like a veil thing than Sasa's.
I cannot fucking remember, but I do know there were rolls being made to identify the creature.
We all rolled shit.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think
we all rolled real bad.
I basically only like gave you the name and like the basic ability, but no, yeah, the rolls were not good enough to like
Right, yeah.
justify, knowing more.
And even for Vale, his specialty isn't monsters, it's undead, so...
Mm-hmm.
Although even last session, I believe I did mention to your characters that the attack itself, like, it did feel weird, like the creatures were not backing off. It seemed almost like they are in a, berserkers blood rush. No, not blood rush. Give me what I'm looking for. Bloodlust. Bloodlust, that's the word I'm looking for. Jesus.
Mm.
And speaking of on that note, I wanted to mention with that 15, you do catch the scent of the creatures. It's not distinct. No, wait, what I'm going for. You do catch the sign of the creatures, smelled enough of them and their blood when you were fighting on the surface. But even then, it feels... Can't put an exact word on it, but there's something unnatural about it. Above the board, well, it doesn't come in game, but above the board, the word that could be applicable to this is manufactured.
I smell artificial chemicals. He would probably describe to everyone that something smells weird, like industrial almost, in like the blood of the creatures.
Yeah, perhaps not natural, not biological, or rather not something that would, exist and like evolve normally. And with those investigation checks, after a while, you do find a breach. And at this point in time, it's hard to say if that was an unlucky miner that struck a wall and the creatures were roused by the noise, or perhaps the attack came from that other side. But the breach you find, the hole you find, and carefully peek inside, reveals that instead of, natural made cave full of formations of rocks, you do find, albeit very abandoned looking with plenty of dust in the air, a man-made, slick albeit rusty tunnel.
That's not good.
Does
That
it
is
smell
not
the
good.
same?
It looks
I don't know about that.
old, very old.
I sniff the metal. I smell the same.
Yes, that feeling is there, and definitely the creatures pass through here.
I point in there.
And actually, to basically say that one end of the tunnel is like completely collapsed, caved in, while the other, you do not see any light source. However, it leads further in.
Do my dark vision eyes see the end, or is it just keep going?
From the bridge, no, not yet.
It's gonna turn to the group. Do we want to go in and investigate?
Do we want to wait a bit before we go there?
They might think we're dead.
I mean, if we go in, they might think that we're dead anyways.
That's fair. Are you out of character? Do you want to rest?
Yeah, I'm thinking, do we want to long rest? Because both Pastor and I did use like some of our spell slots, and I don't have my cannon.
Wait, why don't you have your cannon?
I used it.
Oh,
I used it last fight.
Have to
right.
rest for more cannon.
I mean, I can use a spell slot, but again, it's not like I have many anyways.
I would say it would probably be a good idea to at least alert the guards of this.
Yeah, that is true. Who's the fastest in here?
Not me.
It's that person with broom.
Bro!
Wait, what happens if we give the fairy the broom? Do the flying speeds add up?
I don't think it
No.
does. I
Oh.
think it's just the same flying speed.
It sets your flying speed to 50, and then if you have 300 pounds, it just goes down to 30.
So that means that Vel can just zoom. Or anyone with the broom could zoom, but Vel.
Pretty much the only person who can. I think, unless Pastor weighs a lot naturally.
Well, he is kind of made of metal.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what your weight is.
But
Yeah.
You might be made of aluminium for all we know.
Could be aluminum.
Aluminum.
You're aluminum.
He gets hit by like a punch, just crumbles in.
Soda can.
The sound of just like
After a long rest, you just like and pop back out. Decrumple. Exactly.
Nice.
I mean, I could. Do you have to
just-
attune to the broom?
Oh. Oh, no.
But you can give it to me and I can go neum.
It's a veil thing. Yeah.
it's just a very complex tower of Coca-Cola cans. Oh
Hand you
God.
friend. Enjoy. Go. Be free.
I will. I don't know how pounds work, so I'll just take it and I'll go neum, and I'll tell like the first person that I catch, it's just like, hey, we found something. Do not enter the mines again. We are going to explore, and we don't know how good it is. Waiting here for us, and I'm gonna go back.
Wait. Oh, hold on.
What?
What do you mean we can enter the mine? Do you understand how vital this place is for the city?
Do you understand what we just found? No! You can mine a little bit, but don't go all the way deep again. And she's going to Noom. She's just like, God damn it, people not listening to Sasa.
As if it would be shut down forever, fucking idiots.
No one ever listens to the little fairy.
I like to imagine when you turned around to fly away, the broom whapped them.
I imagine like see people like condescendingly refer to Sansa as like little lady.
Oh God. Oh, you will be so angry.
They're off so much.
Well,
Oh God.
we can make this canon.
Oh no. I will make a canon, alright.
I mean,
Okay,
I
anyway,
merely-
she's going to
I-
come back.
I merely said we can. make it canon.
And she's saying we can make it canon as she takes out her cannon as a joke.
That is my answer. But yeah, I will come back and just be like, okay, I alerted, and she's just going to flop to the ground and be like, I'm scared.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Apart from being indigenous anger, however you fucking spell that, you did so that I guess you caught like a miner that was, limping out of the way. Not foreman, but like someone that has some people under him, and
Mhm.
so like he like grumble, and yeah, the word will spread. And
Okay.
for me to know like what's gonna happen next, just wanted to confirm: do you basically place camp and essentially take turns in watching the hole just in case something more emerges, or do you go in?
We should probably rest for the spellcasters.
I will appreciate taking a little rest.
Pastor just goes into low power mode.
I don't need a long rest, so I'll just short rest and then.
I mean, to be
keep
fair,
watch.
you did have. Oh right, yeah. Actually, I don't think short rest will do anything to you, Vale, because you did short rest at the end of last session, essentially.
Oh, then yeah, like all my shit refreshes on a short rest, so I'm good.
Damn, that's freaking cool. Okay.
Hehe.
So I guess I don't know. So you're gonna take like the rest of the shift, so we don't need
I'll
like
take
one
the whole
shift then?
Yeah, I'll take the whole shift.
Oh, okay.
Pastor's long rest is only like 4 or 3 hours, so he can also take a shift.
Very well. Then Vale and Pastor, please give me perception checks. They are based on hearing.
Woo!
I'm good at that.
Wow, I don't have ears.
Hey.
Wait, how do you percept it?
I guess there's a microphone in me somewhere.
So obviously in the underground with the word star being shattered, it's kind of hard to gauge the passage of time, but above the board it's around 3 hours pass when both of you will hear footsteps, pretty rapid, but as you tense and focus, they do not come from the breach, they come from behind you, from the same tunnel that you came in. They are pretty light, and actually there are like 3 pairs of footsteps. And after a moment, you see Custodian Siderin flanked by 2 guards. Slightly huffing. Seems like he was coming here with most haste.
I just sort of like awkwardly wave.
Powers up slightly.
So, what is that I'm hearing about the portion of the mine being closed off? You understand how vital this place is for our city, right?
I mean, we're not saying you can't mine it. It just points to giant breach where tunnel is. That's where the monsters came from.
He pauses, looks at the breach, looks at you. No. Blinks awkwardly, scratches his chin. My apologies. The message that was relayed to me from the miners, that in turn was given to them by your companion, and he nods towards the resting form of Sasa, implied something else.
No, we just didn't want anybody to come in until we dealt with it. We were just resting before we went in.
You just hear a loud snoring coming from Sasa. Just.
Oddly enough, the fairy is the loudest sweeper.
Yes. Well, with that being cleared off, and he considers for a moment. I'm aware of my failings and that I'm not the best people's person. However, your presence at the sites of trouble, responding to them in valiant effort, shows to me that we are worthy of trust. And while you may not like me, which is understandable, you do like living and the continued existence of the city. After this
Nods.
issue with the mine is resolved, if you really need to know if I can trust on your secrecy, I will allow you entrance into the Elder's house, so you may see with your own eyes.
Vale's eyes are kind of gonna go wide, like in surprise, and he'll sort of bow and thanks.
Oh, could we get some caution tape to section off this area?
Yes, that would also be, or guards posted for when we go in and are no longer guarding it.
For a moment, he gives like a blink of confusion, like what the fuck is up? Caution tape, and then goes.
You know, like minor illusion, like those permanent minor illusions that they put up at crime scenes.
Man, I'm reminding of permanency cost of that spell in material components from Pathfinder. I'm like, well, yes, now that I know of that, there's only a problem with a section of the mine, not the entire complex. I will relay instructions to the guards, so no unfortunate miner will wander off into this area.
Many thanks. And we'll probably take you up on your offer when we're finally have some spare time.
Understood. Good hunting and good luck. I need to return to my own duties.
Best of luck to you as well.
And he turns around, his cape
May the light be with you.
almost dramatically floats, and as he's leaving, may the hope never die. And he leaves with the two guards.
One more snore from Sasa. Just.
And the rest of your watch proceeds uneventful. When the rest of the party wakes up, do you relay the encounter you had with Custodian?
Alright, so Sasa's just like, how did I not hear him?
You were sound asleep.
Oh. Okay. Well, so what are we gonna do then?
Well, you
Go
are
in there.
long rested.
Okay.
We go within.
I begin climbing in the tunnel first. As the only person with dark vision, I think. Wait, no, Samal also has dark vision.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
robot has light.
Yeah, I'm just covered in lights.
Yeah, but I can see what's distance. Your light only goes out to 40 feet.
I just imagine. I don't know why I'm imagining just there's eyes just becoming like fog lights from a car. Just
Just high beams on.
just the fence is going.
Just flashbang me.
I can see finally.
Nice.
I mean, Pastor does have like 4 separate ambient lights just constantly following him.
I'm gonna calm down with that.
All the lights. Okay.
As you venture further deeper in, now going through the corridor, neatly carved into stone walls made out of metal, albeit as the decades wore by, because this place feels and smells old. Decades old. Perhaps, who knows, maybe it existed before the War of Dawn, the War of Dusk. There are not cobwebs, but dust and dirt everywhere, plenty of it disturbed by the passage of monsters, but there's also moss in several places. Everything and some metal plates have rust on it. There are a lot of signs that this place was old and haven't been used for a long, long time. And with some trepidation and carefulness, you venture forth. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like this is a maze of some sort. The passage is straightforward for a solid minute or two. Before you start reaching more expanded area.
How big is this tunnel, by the way? Like, is it like if I reached my hand up, I wouldn't be able to touch the ceiling? Like, is that how big we're
No,
talking
actually,
about?
good point that you mentioned. The tunnel itself is, I would say, 10 by 10.
Oh, okay.
Quick question.
Yes.
This is technically ruins, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
What is it?
Yes. Is it? Actually, hold on. Do you see it? Lightning? No. No token vision. Okay, so
Toy factory?
Well, they smelled mechanical. Okay.
Oh yes,
mm,
my favorite Krutik plushie.
I
actually,
would get a beer plushie.
well, actually, yeah, I couldn't find like the best word, but when I mentioned manufactured, I will like it would tie in a moment, like what I meant by that, because as you start seeing more and more of this stuff, it's Silas that feels a burst of insight, intuition as he inspects the walls, the leftover equipment. Most of it, actually all of it, wrecked beyond a point of repair. Plenty of equipment looking like nothing you have ever seen. Very. What would that even be used for? However, looking at this stuff, you are able to determine its purpose. As for the race, what would I say? I'm gonna say. Hold on. Oh wait, not this. They were built by the elves. Elves, Eladrin, fairies. This
That's
bunch.
never
You
good.
see some aesthetics that remind you of these races, mostly like elves. Eladrin, you basically only met one dead soul member of that race in the library. And as for its purpose, it was a laboratory. As you begin to inspect the various halls, you find the remains of biotanks, you find the remains of nests, of massive overgrowth that sprawls um, throughout the area. But you also find, actually, if you find anything else, that will be determined by rolls.
Ooh.
Investigation would definitely be appropriate, but
First
Actually-
off, Silas is gonna look completely plain looking on his face. Like once he realizes what this place is, he's just gonna like grab his forehead with his hands, grab at his temples, just slightly irritated. But he'll do an investigation just to further look at things. And during this entire learned process, he's going to like get closer to Sasa.
okay. Yeah, I just wanted to mention, like, with that historical knowledge, even if you are not sure, you can feel in your gut that considering the age, this must have been inspired and controlled by the gods that abandoned you. And sure, the elves, Eladrin, and fairies were the builders, the hands that used it, but the inspiration, the minds came from above.
This really is Jurassic Park.
Sasa, have your kind, and no offense to that statement itself, used to tinkering with things?
She's gonna
Very,
think.
a
Yeah, she's
lot.
gonna like stop for a second and she's gonna say, look like wide eye to Silas and be like, yes.
He's gonna start grabbing a shovel and is like, at a brief moment, you're gonna see like his demeanor go black as his eyes go red as he approaches you, like, oh. But he's gonna stop. He's like, this. How about we just. This place is pointless. Let's just destroy it. Let's go to the top of the mine. I got my equipment. We'll just close the hole. Don't even have to worry about it.
I'm gonna go ahead and put Sasa behind me, and I'm gonna say, Silas, you're free to go if you want.
What do you find, Silas?
Oh no!
Actually, I should
Oh,
specify that with the knowledge that you find, it was a laboratory. But you see that you start seeing the point of note that the moss, the biological things, sure, they might have been a part of it, maybe, but they came later. A lot of this machinery looks very arcane and mystical in nature, almost like if trying to control and harness energy. What kind, you cannot be sure. And yeah, actually, sorry for interjection. Yeah, you can. Yeah, just wanted to throw that in. You can continue on with your scene.
I put away the shovel. I'll continue to walk past you both. It's like, no, let's find out what the deal is with this place. After all, you want to know what it is. We'll find out what it is.
Just gonna share a look
groaning.
with the rest of the team.
Sassy's just like, I don't, like internally, she's like, I don't know if I want to ask again.
I
Like
see. Sorry, go ahead.
Sassy is going to just put herself like kind of just on Vale's shoulder, but she's not gonna say anything. She just realizes that Silas found something that she hasn't noticed yet. That's it. She's just gonna continue.
By the way, I do see rolls from Vale and Silas. Does Pastor or Sasa want to make a roll as well?
Sure.
Investigation.
That's not me. I just.
Or if you have an idea and can sell it to me, like what other skill would be applicable, I am also ears. But I believe in this case, investigation would be the most proper. As you're basically trying to find clues
Hey.
as to what happened here.
Would insight make sense for Pastor because he's mechanical?
I would want to say yes, but insight specifically, I'm pretty sure it says that it's for like creatures.
Right.
Feelings,
Okay.
too. Yeah.
Right. All right.
Like basically, I treat that insight is for like reading a person, and the investigation is for reading a scene. If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Got a craft skill, like a toolkit, maybe? Does Pastor sure have, I don't know.
I have a herbalism kit.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Look at the moss.
The moss.
The moss.
The moss.
What does it speak to you? Oh!
Very good shit.
Nice.
The moss.
Moss. Yes.
Alright, so let's handle these one at a time. So, Fail and Silas, that doesn't catch your eye, but Sasa, with that 24 investigation, you realize that the place was abandoned. Emphasis on was. As upon further inspection, you do realize that you are not the first ones, of course, apart from the Krutkiks that were nesting here, but you are not the first beings that investigate this place.
Okay.
That's not good for my guy.
What did you say?
I said that's not good for my guy. I don't think. Okay.
And you do find not tracks, but definitely signs of presence.
Like dust was moved recently.
Something that wasn't a monster, was a humanoid, you can tell that much. And it definitely seemed like, well, as I said, like a lot of the ancient equipment is destroyed. You do find also destroyed, but more fresh creations, devices that are now spent and destroyed that were used for something, and all of the new ones were connected, tied to the overgrowth and the biotanks. Rather, when I say biotanks, I actually should a little bit of retcon and specify that I mean not like glass tubes of sci-fi tech, but I mean basically made out of vines and leaves and moss, these containers where inside them perhaps something could grow. And adding that, and perhaps if you like brainstorm with the rest of the party, above the board, this is what I meant when I said manufactured.
Yeah.
This Krutkit horde has been, even if not created from the ground up, it has been modified. And this place has been used to do that.
I don't like this.
How much noise am I making in my big old chainmail armor? As I'm stupidly stomping down the hall.
Well, the rest of the party definitely knows where you are,
No
but
one's stopping me.
yeah, no matter how loud you are, for so far, it doesn't seem like there's anything in here that could threaten you. Which, then again, you start thinking this is pretty weird because there are no sources of light in here.
Vale was just like,
I mean,
I'm
there
gonna let him
were
get it
rents
out of his
after the monsters went out, and before you came in, it doesn't seem like anything spawned in here.
Hmm.
And
That's good.
yeah, well, I'm gonna get back to that bio tank because there's like one more thing, but with that 26 on herbalism. You do not manage to find plenty of new, never before seen species of herbs and species of flora. Some of them you see for the first time. But as you go through some of them, you do realize that through whatever means, that they, definitely some of them, seem to be pretty darn potent. And by potent, I mean you find. Actually, let me double check because I don't want to screw this up. Okay. Okay. Specifically, you managed to find enough samples and with such high potency that you are able to craft 1 potion of supreme healing and 3 potions of superior healing.
Oh.
I do not like
What the
this.
fuck?
I do not like this.
I think rather than doing that quite yet, Pastor is gonna harvest some of these plants for later use.
Herbalist
You're gonna
Robert
start
strikes
a whole-
again.
You're gonna start a whole fucking garden in your church, dude.
Yeah!
We're just gonna go in there one day. It's just gonna be like sunlights and just like rows and rows of fucking plants, and you just have your own little hydroponic system.
I like to imagine the way that Pastor like collects these plants because he doesn't really have pockets or a bag on him. The only bag he has his journal and potions and whatnot. So what he does is he literally just puts it into his mouth to hold it there. He's like eats the plant.
New storage container, opens
Okay.
up chest cavity, puts in plant.
Oh god.
Also, to be fair, out of character, I would totally pull a Silas and be like, "Let's get out of here." Fail one, so I can't.
Pastor is going to collect these plants and he doesn't realize what this place is for or what made it, so he's perfectly fine right now.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention that from the way it looks, because of how potent they are, it's like you cut them off. Rather, about the word. What I'm getting at is that the way this place works and how the weird, fucked up biology of these things is, you cannot turn this place into a garden. When you take those samples, they're just gone. It's like essentially one-time use of like this thing has grown. Okay, you take it, and that's it. Nothing new will grow from this.
Understood.
It's like maximum potency.
It's a hard branch.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, and just one more thing. You also managed to find some scraps. Not enough to craft a potion from it, but something to consider in terms of if you wanted to maybe test it out. To how in character flavor wise the pastor might feel how this might work, I leave it up to you there. But above the board, should you pursue these mystical scraps, I am given an option to like open a way of researching a way to create a mana potion.
Oh.
I'm not fully decided what variant I'll be using because I did see some, like a few variants of like homebrewed mana potions, how they like work. But I am putting this on a table as an option. Like it is possible to like discover it. Should you decide to like pursue this course of action?
Okay. I think yeah, if Passer sees these plants that hold such strange energy that he has not seen before, he's gonna harvest them for sure.
Very well. Make sure to like write down somewhere like what you have in terms of like crafting materials.
Right.
If you need me to remind you.
Yeah. Oh God.
Okay.
Is there any way I can help figure this out as a fellow smart?
You mean the mana potion thing?
Mm-hmm.
No, this is like specifically kind of like a downtime, longer time project. Actually, the search itself, but if you like want to look at the scraps and maybe get an idea what the fuck is with this, sure, you can go with nature or arcana, but either of those two will give you slightly different information because you'll be approaching it from different perspective.
What I have the resources to make what types of healing potions?
Let me double check. Okay, so 1 supreme.
God, what? Supreme?
Yes, it's 10d4 plus 20.